Probably the most popular course in the last 12 months in India has been the US CMA. And this course, a lot of people are calling and saying, I want to do CMA. And when we ask them, okay, do you know anything about it? Including the full form, people don't know. So in this video, I'm going to give you complete clarity on the details of CMA. First of all, guys, remember there is a CMA of India as well. We are right now talking about CMA from the US. CMA India is also called Cost and Work Accountants, uh, costing as a course, etc., etc. But we are going to talk about US CMA. So, what would you become if you completed this US CMA course? Now, I've used this example again in our previous videos, but I'm going to do it once again. Pick a company that you would love to work in. So, I always choose Google. Right? Now, if I want to work in Google at the CFO level, the Chief Financial Officer, but I have to start from ground zero. How do I start and sort of work my way up, right? So if I start at the bottom level, if I am good at understanding the numbers within Google, which means, okay, I want to help my seniors make a better decision for Google, which will either help grow Google or help save costs, right? So it's all number driven, revenue or cost, right? So I'll enter Google at the ground floor and I'll start collecting data. How many people are using Google search on a daily basis? How many people are using maps? Is there a way to monetize Gmail? YouTube is one of the most powerful assets Google has. Are there better, what is the revenue in YouTube right now? How many content creators do we have? And Google has so many different, there's Google Chrome, which has the highest market share of browsers in the world today. Google has so many different sort of sub entities. If I collect data of all of them on a daily basis and analyze it, make sense out of it, decide different pricing strategies, think of different ways to experiment and turn any of them as a more successful product. I collect all of this internal information, present it in a very easy yet executionable way to my seniors, right? That's what the seniors want from me. They'll take this understanding, they'll present it to other people, they'll work on it, and if Google grows because of my ability to make sense of all this data, then that's how I will grow in Google. This growth is what happens when you become a CMA, a certified management accountant. The examples I gave you are very basic examples of what management accounting actually comprises of. So with that said, let me just jump into the details of CMA. The full form of CMA, like I said, is Certified Management Accountant. The body is called IMA, Institute of Management Accounting, which is based out of the US. Now, of course, they also have centers in India. The Indian CMA and the US CMA, in terms of, again, curriculum and knowledge, is similar, but the entire exam structure is a little different. So now let me just jump into more of the eligibility aspects of CMA. In short, if you are in India and you've given your 12th, your grade 12, you are eligible for CMA. You're eligible to what we say, write the CMA exams, but to become a CMA member, there are other couple of aspects, like you have to complete your graduation, you need to use a work experience, etc. after clearing the exams. So most people who land up studying with Zell for CMA are generally grade 12 pass outs, and we also have around 30 to 40% of them who are working professionals. So the course is open to the entire world. Coming to the academic structure. Now, CMA is split into two parts. They just simply call it part 1 exams and part 2. So on the screen, as you can see, part 1 is much more about accounts and part 2 is much more about finance. When it comes to the exam duration, most people land up completing CMA, pushing it 12 months. If you're looking for a US course, which is in the field of FNA, finance and accounts, and you want to do it quickly, there is no better option than CMA. You can finish in less than a year. Now, talking about the exam window, meaning when can you give the exam? CMA you can basically give in 3 parts of the year. First, you can give it anywhere between the months of January and February. Then you can give it anywhere between the months of May and June. And then you can give it anywhere between the months of September and October. There are centers across the country where you have to go and appear for these exams. All of these exams are computer based. Now, when it comes to the passing rate, right? What I mean by passing rate is how many people end up clearing the CMA exam. So at a global level, in a class of 10, 4 or 5 students land up clearing every exam. And whereas at Zell, we have a 75% passing rate, which means for us, 7 to 8 out of 10 people end up clearing the CMA exam. Next is passing mark. How much you have to actually score within each paper. So again, I don't want to get into the details, but simply put, you need 360 marks out of 500. That's how big the paper is to clear these exams. 500 marks is not stretched over a few. It's not over multiple hours, so don't worry. It's something which you guys are much more used to. But 72% is what it translates to. So your goal should be to score at least 80%, so you can land up clearing the exams without any fear. Now coming to the scope of CMA. So what happens if you actually land? What can you become? So again, I want to split this into two parts. One is what would happen if you're working in India, and second is what happens if you go overseas. In India, you have the ability to again work in the just the same kind of companies that all chartered accountants want to work in, right? The big four: KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, EY, Grant Thornton, BDO, and then there is a list of companies, as you can see, which are hiring CMAs, because it's not just accounting companies or consulting companies that need CMA. You can work in a company like Zell. We also need people who understand how to analyze our internal accounts and numbers. Or you can work in a company like Apple and Amazon, who also need this for their ability to analyze their own numbers. When it comes to the salary package, if you have, depending of course on the company and what kind of experience you have before, I'm just going to take an example that most of us are freshers. If you're a fresher, you can earn anywhere between 5 to 7 lakhs as your first job based on your CMA qualification. When it comes to going overseas, of course, US is US. There's going to be scope. But besides US, also we've seen countries like UK, Canada, Dubai, Australia, all these, including India, by the way. All these countries are such where they require people who understand CMA. Also, I've learned one thing, that of course your qualification is going to get you through the door for so many interviews, but there are times when people will hire you not because of the qualification, but because how in the interview or with what kind of persistence you've been able to use your qualification, whether to get to the interview or during the interview. So a lot will also depend on you or me as individual candidates. So now coming to the fee structure. Now the fee structure is split into two parts. One is what you pay the IMA body, that's paid mostly in dollars, and the other is what you pay for any training and study material. The total fees for most of you guys for CMA will be anywhere between 1.5 to 2 lakhs total, which includes the training fees, study material, things like your one-time membership fees, the exam fees, etc., etc. So let me first quickly jump into the technical aspects of the fee structure. Let me first tell you what you have to pay the IMA body. Now, the IMA body expects you to classify yourself either as a student or a professional, and they charge differently. A student is considered as a student as long as you're studying any bachelor's or master's degree, right? To go even more in depth, as long as you have some credits to be earned by any known university in your country, you'll be considered a student. Anything else, you're a professional. So basically, if you're working and not studying, or you are just not studying, you will be considered as a professional. The body fees. Now, if you are paying directly to the IMA body as a student, it will come close to around 1 lakh, and as a professional, around 1 lakh 20. This includes again everything: the membership fees, the exam fees for part 1, part 2, everything. That being said, some of us, so Zell is again considered as what we call a platinum partner. Platinum is a status given by the IMA body that helps us pass on direct benefits to students. One of the benefits being a fee waiver. So if you're registering with a platinum partner like us and you're a student, that 1 lakh will come down to between around 65,000, and the 1 lakh 20 will come down to around 85,000. So there is a massive saving of between 30 to 40,000, probably a little more, based on if you're registering with a platinum partner or not. Coming to the training fees. In the country, we've seen that the training fees along with the study material on an average ranges between 80,000 to a lakh, depending on the where you go to train. Right? So, and that doesn't matter whether you're a student or professional. So in short, if you're registering by yourself, the fees are a little higher. Otherwise, if you're registering with a platinum partner, then the total fees for you will be a little lesser than 2 lakhs. Next is the paper pattern. Now, to make it easier for most of you all, CMA exams, while being computer based, are mostly objective. Objective meaning they're mostly MCQs, right? There are 2 essay type questions which you have to type out, but otherwise, the majority of the exams are just simple multiple choice question. I wouldn't say simple, but multiple choice questions for you guys. Another important point for understanding the value of CMA is that the IMA body has a partnership with companies like Apple, Amazon, Accenture, Caterpillar. These are the kind of companies that have tied up with the official body to recruit CMAs. So guys, I hope that that covers most of the details. We've made a ton of video on other aspects of CMA to help you guys make a career decision. We've compared CMA also with the Indian CMA, with the Indian CA, with US CPA, with CFA, with ACCA. And for some of you, maybe a combination of a CMA US, maybe with a CPA, maybe with another program, might just help you guys boost your career. So as long as you all need help, we are here for y'all. Reach out to us if you need to understand more about the course, offer training, and if we've missed anything, then please leave it in the comments.